People look at me today, and they don't see the 8-year-old who is made to hate the color of his own hair. They don't see the 12-year-old who was called a faggot because he liked to wear tight jeans instead of baggy. They don't see the 16-year-old who found himself with his back against a wall more than once. But the bullying I went through was very real, and bullying today is still very real. Statistics show that 1 out of every 10 children who drop out do so because of bullying. So not only does bullying affect our physical and mental well-being, but it affects our academic as well. Both bullies and their victims are more likely to suffer from depression. So you know the saying how misery loves company? Well, one miserable person making other people miserable. Bullied victims are 7 to 9% more likely to consider suicide. So as misery affects our academic endeavors, leading to suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts, loss of life. All these come from nobullying.com or bullyingstatistics.org, and they are facts in effective bullying. Now, bullying comes in very different fashions. I'm going to show you schoolyard bullying, which we all know about. It's on TV. It's a fairly common thing that we know about. But aside from the physical aspect, kids getting roughed up, thrown into dumpsters, swirlies, and all that kind of stuff, there's also verbal bullying, name calling, and I'm not talking, oh, you're a butthead kind of thing. No, real aggressive name calling that goes on, people picking on people for any type of difference that they have. The new kid getting called out simply because he's the new kid. But aside from schoolyard bullying, another type that's on the rise is cyberbullying. This happens in social media and gaming specifically. It's in other areas, but this is where the concentration is. Everybody knows the gaming one. People like to, get all brave and everything when they're on their microphones and stuff. They name call, use slanderous language and everything. And then in social media, you see personal attacks all the time. Somebody has the option of using an anonymous method of communicating, and they lay into people. You see people getting brought down just because they don't have to face the person face to face, so they think they can do whatever they want and put that negativity out there. And then another type of bullying that people don't really focus on is in the workplace. Now, micromanaging is bullying. All right. There are times where you're at your job and you have to get something done, and your boss will, ride you the whole way through it. That's common and everything. That's going to happen every now and then. But when your boss is constantly going over every single tiny task that you have to go through day by day by day, that is bullying. And it's also related to harassment and discrimination. Because usually if you're being micromanaged like that, it's because he doesn't like you for some sort of reason. He wants you to blow up and get yourself fired. Harassment is bullying. It's usually based on you being different in some manner or another, just as discrimination and everything. And that all leads to a general negative work atmosphere that makes you not want to come to work, makes you not want to perform well at your job, and leads to either you losing your job or you quitting your job. So that is what bullying is. So now we can move on to the power you have. Now, first thing you have is just being aware, being conscious, paying attention to the people around you, and seeing that the bullying going around is commonplace and that is a problem that needs to be addressed. Paying attention to your words and actions when you're around are the same, because anything you say can affect the people around you, and speaking out is a very important tool when it comes to bullying, because the more light you shed on the bullies, the less likely they're to bully, because people are actually paying attention to it. Just like anonymous people and everything, the more light that's shed on them, the less likely they're going to do it, because they know they're going to be targeted for their words and their actions. And tell someone. If you see bullying, tell someone. I'm not saying you need to confront the bully and be like, oh, I'm Batman, and fisticuffs on that sort of thing. No, but telling someone, anybody, a teacher, your boss's boss, human resources. There's so many people that you can go to in your life, because you are not alone. You are never alone, and that is the main problem I see with people that are a victim of bullying, is they think they're alone. They think they need to curl up in a shell and just hide away from everything. You are not alone. Because hiding it hurts everyone, including, just like I've said with depression. You hide the bullying, the bully doesn't get the attention that they need. And so they continue with their own depression. So let's think about it for a moment. You know, back when you were in high school and everything, if you could just get up in the morning, put on whatever shirt you want. I've got a Ninja Turtle t-shirt I like to wear every now and then. You know, wear your hair however you like, just be yourself, express yourself however you want to, and go to school and have people just accept it like that. Not be afraid of being ridiculed for what you're wearing, not being afraid for being made fun of because you like to play video games, or the friends I grew up with in Rockland High School used to play magic cards out in front of the library. And they dealt with a lot of bullying. So, to recap on all that, what you need to do is just pay attention, look at everything around you, speak out, know that you are not alone. Know that you are not alone. That is the main thing. So, what I'd like to leave you all with is that bullying is a very real problem today. And it's up to the actions we take and the examples we set to erase it. Thank you.